Who wants to make a pie crust? Delicious sourdough pie crust.
Now I have 1 cup of white flour here and 1/4 of a cup of whole wheat pastry flour, a teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of baking soda, and I already have 6 tablespoons of butter. I cut them up into little pieces. And this part I know most people know, that you just have to get your flour and your butter and you crumble them, and some people like to use a little tool, but your finger, it's just as good, you know. Probably people been making crust for a long time, and you can just do this. And even if you didn't get exactly pea size, it's still okay, because when we make the crust, we're going to put them in the refrigerator. You can leave them there for like overnight, or you can leave them, you know, half an hour, and then we have to do the blind baking, which makes a big difference. So whatever you put in your pie, it wouldn't get all soggy. And a lot of people don't even like to eat the pie crust because it's all soggy. But if you have blind baked them, they have already almost cooked, so they would not become soggy. So I always got lazy until I stopped blind baked them. I said, oh, my pie crust tastes so good. And the next part is the part that is very special, because I have exactly 1/4 of a cup, a very strong sourdough starter. This baby has been around for more than 3 months. I've been feeding it, nursing it, until I keep it in the refrigerator. So I only have to feed it every 4 days. And it's beautiful. And so this is sort of like the liquid, but it's not quite liquid enough. So I'm going to add just a couple of tablespoons of unsweetened applesauce, because applesauce, it's almost like a fat substitute and makes the food actually taste better. So, and I just put 2 tablespoons, and then now I just want to get all this together and not try to knead it or anything, but it's still kind of wet because of my sourdough starter is giving a lot of moisture. And but I've made this before, so I know I can trust that eventually all this wet stuff going to get absorbed by the dry stuff. And do not worry about oh my God, they're not coming together. They will come together. And then once they come together, that's when you have to roll it out. Now you can tell that the crumbly mess is in a ball now. And I didn't knead it or work hard. All I did was try to put them together. And as you see, that I didn't want to put too much wet, but I did put in 1/4 of a cup of very strong sourdough starter. And I only used 2 tablespoons of my applesauce. And if you are using just all white flour, then you can even cut back, because whole wheat absorbs more wetness. But whole wheat is just more nutritious, and also we love that little nutty freshness of the flour rather than pasty white stuff. And also conventional pie crust will call for a lot more, 6 tablespoons of butter for this big a crust. And but I decided, you know, I want to eat healthy. I don't have to eat that much butter, but I love the taste of butter. And so now I have them shaped into a ball. And conventionally, people would say, wrap this ball in plastic and put it in the refrigerator until they get hard and it's easier to roll. But from my experience, it's better that you roll this out. You put it in your prepared pan, which I have rubbed coconut oil in it. And then I have my parchment paper, so I don't have to handle it. I put 1 parchment paper on top, and then I will be able to flip it into my pie plate, my prepared pie plate. So I've learned that I don't want to have my pie dough very stiff. If I put it in the refrigerator right now, it becomes very stiff. So you are not able to handle it as much. But right now, I know I can handle this. Okay, I'm just going to roll it out. And because I have sourdough starter in my crust, it's actually going to make my crust much more tender. So besides, crunchy on the outside, it's going to be tender. So I don't have to roll it as thin like traditional pie crust. You have to roll it thin. So what you end up eating is you end up eating it almost like a light biscuit with whatever filling you put in. So that is called being innovative, which I am. That's what, Mother Zen do. I mean, I just constantly thinking about, can I do another way? I love the taste of pie crust. But a lot of times either soggy or just so full of butter and you're afraid that you are eating too much butter. But in this case, I get to have both ways. I get to have the crustiness and the healthy part of eating something sourdough, which I think, if you look it up, is a fermented product. After all, I've been working on this fermented product for 3 months, so it's not an overnight. And I can just check that it's thick enough, but it's not paper thin. If I have 2 sticks of butter here, then you want to make it very, very thin. But I don't have to. So that is the beauty of using the sourdough starter and a little bit of applesauce. Now you see that it's not exactly circular, and I have a scissor here which I can trim it off once I put it inside. So like any of these fatty part, it gets trimmed off. And but you can tell it's not a paper thin crust. And I can just look at it even right now as a professional that this is going to be yummy because it's very soft already and delicate. And I didn't maneuver, I didn't knead it, which you see a lot of pie crust. They put a lot of their hand on it, which you shouldn't. And now all I have to do is go like this, and they're in there. And don't worry if you have some extras, you can save it for your like a little turnover or something else. And I'm going to take a scissor and cut off all the extra pieces. And that's it. That's the lovely crust, and it's just looking really good. And
wow, that's so cool how you use the scissors to trim it.
Yeah, that is a very good way. Now I just do what normal classic thing you do to do this. You don't have to. You could just take your fingers and make some thumbprint. That will work too. But I like the fork. It's kind of neat. That's it. And now, here's a treat. Do not forget, you use your fork, you poke some holes in your pie. That helps make your crust very crunchy because they're getting to breathe. Like making crackers. You see crackers all have these tiny little holes. And that's it. Now I had to press my pie crust and I'm going to put it in for the blind bake. And because if I don't have something weight on it, it will go puffed up. So, and I have some dry beans. You could be using rice. One time I had a collection of white marble beads, but all the kids keep taking them and play with them. I lost a 2 big bottle of beads. They just didn't know it was for my pies. So here I am. I've collected some beans and I put them in. And now I'm going to bake this at 375 for 15 minutes.
Sourdough crust makes your pies even better. We love it with cheesy mushroom onion quiche, rhubarb sour cherry pie, and apple blueberry crumble. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell.